This next video will show you how to run time clock reports to be able to look at everybody's hours and the totals. If you are an owner or manager where you want to look at all the stores, most likely you're just going to stay at the top level organization in the right hand corner. If you are strictly a manager for a particular store number, then you're going to want to go to that store number in the top right hand corner. And that'll switch you to that store number. You might have permissions where when you log in it's only going to take you to that store number anyway. So that's all you'll see in the top right hand corner is your particular store. I'm going to say that I'm a store owner, so I want to look at all my stores, so I'm at the top level and I'm going to click on Reporting, Salespeople, and Time Clock Data. This brings us into the Time Clock Data report. Output method, the default is PDF, where you can just look at it like a report. You have the three different tabs: report options, report criteria, and printing options. So under report options we have what period would you like to view, so you can click on this drop down and choose from these options whether you want to do month to date or selected dates or today or yesterday. We're going to choose month to date on this. To the right we have what users would you like to include. If you wanted to include the unapproved users, disabled users, or deleted users, you could check all of them or just check individual ones or don't have any of them checked. There's the how would you like to treat your stores. So if you're a single store, it'd be separate stores. If you're a multiple store and you want your stores to print separately, it'd still be separate stores. If you want to combine them, then you would have them on combined stores. Next tab is report criteria. So you have by store state, and by salespeople. So if you wanted to look at everything, you just leave things blank on the screen. If you wanted to look at a particular store, you'd put that store number in to the right of by store. If you wanted to look at a couple stores, you could select those stores. By salespeople, same thing. If you wanted to look at one salesperson, put that salesperson code in. You can use the lookup, or you can put multiple salespeople. If you want everybody, just leave it blank. You can also exclude certain salespeople. If you put that salesperson in and you want to exclude them, you can just click on the exclude checkbox. And you can also exclude multiple salespeople if you need to. Then there's the printing options tab. And here is just if you want to also print the print salesperson detail. When you're ready, you can click on the Add Job and Run button down at the bottom. This brings you to the report history where you can select the time clock report. If we want to open it, we can just click on Open, and that brings that up on the screen for us. You can stretch your window to make it bigger, and you can also zoom in. So if I click on the Zoom In tool, click on here, you'll see that it makes it bigger. So here I have this store number. I have the salesperson, the time in, the time out, the total hours, if these were non-sales hours, clocked in by, if somebody else clocked you in, actual time in, clocked out by, if somebody clocked you out, and actual time out. So if you forgot to clock in and you had your manager clock you in, they can put the time that you clocked in for the day. Say you clocked in at 11 o'clock. Here it's 11:01 and your time out. But if they clocked you in at, say, noon, they clocked you in at 11, but it was really noon at that time, it's going to show the actual time in and the actual time out. So that way that'll be a red flag for the owner or the manager to see if people are changing their times for any reason. Then you'll see each salesperson's totals for their total hours. And it'll go on to the next salesperson. It'll print their detail for their days and their times in and out and their totals. Then we see store one's totals at the end. You can go page by clicking on the next page or the previous page. You can go to the last page by clicking on the last page icon, or you can go to the first page by clicking on the first page, or you can use the scroll bar to the right. to scroll up and down the report. You can print this report to your printer by clicking on the printer icon. You can save this somewhere on your hard drive. You can email this by clicking on the email icon, or you can search for something on this report if you're looking for a particular salesperson or cashier that you want to look up. And that's how you run the time clock report.